what God's done in my life and where He's brought me. It's been very neat to just kind of go back and kind of revisit a lot of things. But I think for me to adequately share my story, I have to start with my family. My parents actually met in the Keys. My mom was a dive instructor, and to get extra money, she also worked as a waitress and a bartender in a lot of restaurants there. My dad did odd jobs. His goal in life was to live on his boat and be a surfer. That was the ambition of his life. So they met, and 31 years ago now, they met and got married, and neither of them knew Christ. Neither of them were living a life surrendered to God. They met, got married, and as my dad tells the story, and my mom doesn't deny it either, but when they first got married, it was, we don't want to have children, we're just going to live on, stay in the Keys and, surf, etc. And as my dad tells it, a year later into their marriage, my mom woke up one day and said, "I want a baby now." That's the story anyway. And I was born, but I was born 3 months early. It was very unexpected, and not sure why that happened. But I was born 3 months early. I weighed 2 pounds and 1 ounce. Doctors didn't think I was going to make it. And so this was like the first really big trial that my parents were going through. And as this was all happening, and all the days in the hospital and medical bills piling up, and my mom ended up, they had moved at this point from the Keys, and so my mom ended up going back to church, and was just looking for something in the midst of all this craziness with her premature child. And the church was a huge help to her. And just doing a lot to help her through it. And she ended up coming to know Christ from the church, from going to church and hearing the gospel. And my dad ended up going with her and came to know Christ also. So it was just awesome to see how God used, first of all, before I came to know Him, but used the circumstances of my being born so early to bring my parents to Christ. Although my dad still, the surfer part of him never left, because when he became saved and started to read the Bible, and he was reading in Revelation, where it talks about that there won't be a sea, he was very sad. But that's a side note, but I still enjoy telling that story. But so from the earliest that I can remember, my parents wanted to tell me who Christ was, and because they had seen Him such an impact in their lives. And I came to accept Christ. I was really young. I was 5, and I've heard people kind of wonder if a child that young can really understand. And I can tell you that I understood the basics. I mean, from a child's perspective, the fact that there was a God who created the world wasn't a shock to me. I mean, how could that not be? The world's amazing. Especially from a child's perspective, everything is so incredible that how could there not be a God, someone who made all of this, who made us? And I understood what it meant to disobey. All of it from a very childlike perspective, but I understood what it meant to disobey and to do wrong, and to disappoint your parents, or in this case, your Heavenly Father. And I can remember just being in my room and thinking about what my parents had been telling me, and then what talked about in church, and really relating it to, remember any of you as a kid, when you're in the middle of doing something that your parents have told you, don't do this, and you're in the middle of doing it, and they come in, they open the door, and they're looking at you doing what you're not supposed to be doing, and there's that moment where, as a kid, you feel like time kind of stops before they, punish you, but there's that moment where they're watching you do what you're not supposed to do. That's how I felt, and kind of coming to the understanding that I had done wrong and deserved punishment from God. But I also remembered, what my parents had been telling me about who Jesus was and what he had done, and came and told them. And I love that they didn't just accept what I said, like I wanted to accept Jesus. They asked me questions and tried to make sure that I understood. And so, kind of skipping forward a bit, but really middle school and high school were difficult. I mean, I don't think anybody really enjoys middle school. At least I didn't. And so I kind of, I still believed, I knew who Christ was, and I knew who I was, in regards to him, but my life wasn't reflecting that. It was just kind of, I don't know, for lack of a better word now, just kind of coasting, not really putting my life wasn't reflecting what I said I believed at all. Got out of high school, went to college, ended up dating someone who wasn't a Christian, and where I went to college there was a large blindness community, and so I started to really get into that group and started to find who I was in that group. Kind of started to not see myself, even more so not living my life for God. It was, when you compromise, even something as simple as being with friends who aren't Christians or dating someone who's not a Christian, you think, well, it's just this one area, but it affects everything in your walk. And after a couple of years there, God finally got a hold of me, and I knew that I needed to, first of all, end that relationship, which I did. And I realized, okay, God, I need this life isn't mine, it's yours. What do you want me to do with it? And I knew that I needed to go back to Florida and go to college there. And that might not sound like a big deal, but for me it was. God was asking me to leave the community that I had found and to give up the security that I'd found there. And I remember thinking as I was wrestling with that, God, if I do that, then I won't have anything left. I'm going to be leaving all the friends and comfort. And I just realized that was the point. I needed to be brought to a place where I had nothing but God. So I came back to Florida, started college there, and I had been studying computers because, again, I was living my life for what I thought I wanted, and I wanted a job that was going to be not a lot of emotional stress and would make good money, and so computers was the way to go with that. God began to change that desire and priority in my life too, and I felt that he was leading me towards social work. And as I'm sure Michelle can testify too, social work is about the opposite of computers in that not as great money and extreme emotional stress. So it was the opposite of what I thought I wanted, but I realized that it was where God wanted me. And just through the years that I've done social work, he's taught me so much. And I've realized, I think that part of the reason that I was supposed to go into social work was to humble me, because that kind of work, I couldn't imagine doing it without Christ and his strength. And I feel like God's been taking me, showing me more and more what surrendering to him means in every area of my life. When I met Luke, realized being married to someone who was called to the ministry was going to require a lot of me. but I realized that that was where God was wanting me, and that I had to trust Him to give me what I needed to do that. And even moving out here and leaving, my family back in Florida, and even now to our ministry calling out in Utah, God's just been bringing me more and more to, I think, showing me more and more, to sum it all up, when Paul says in Philippians, to live as Christ and to die as gain. I think sometimes we focus on the last part of that verse, but he's showing me more and more what it means when he said, Paul said, to live as Christ. So that's kind of a short version, and I hope that that you'll just take from this just what God can do with you if you're willing to surrender to Him. As hard as it can be, He's certainly, at least in my life, taken me